Hi everyone, welcome back to Crochet Rocks. And well, yeah, welcome back. I've kind of been a little bit absent for the last few days when it comes to doing a vlog. That is, I've been absent. I had a kind of a family issue, but it's all resolved now, so that's all fine, and I'm back. But I did do a couple of videos. I went shopping. It was a kind of a spur of the moment thing, really. We needed to go. Well, actually, we went to go to a wholesaler. So we went to Hobbycraft first, and then on the way back, which is the next stop along the motorway. If you're across the pond, you'll call it a freeway, I guess, but we call them motorways. So it's the next stop down. So as we were coming back, there was a humongous queue to get off at the junction for that wholesaler, and we joined it at the back and it didn't move. So as soon as I saw a gap in the traffic which was going straight on, I was gone. I said we'll get another time. So what we actually went out for we didn't get to do, but it was good for me because I went into Hobbycraft. Gary went into a few of the other little shops around there, so that was it. That's all really kind of what we did, that bit of food shopping, and then come back home again, and I did my videos while Gary did the dinner. So doesn't know din-dins. How old am I? Anyway, that's beside the point. Need some tea. Hang on a sec. I always say this, right? Why does it taste so much better when Gary makes it? I really have no idea. Because we do the same thing. I've even watched him so that I could make sure I emulate it. But let's do the joke. It's a good one. A little sneaky look. Okay. At age 70, my grandfather bought his very first ride-on lawnmower. "This thing's great," he bragged to my brother. "It took me only an hour and a half to mow the lawn. It used to take your grandmother 2 days to do it all." Typical, right? It's about right. So this section is called technologies. I didn't realise they had different sections. What was the last section called? Ooh. Signs of the times. So now we're on technologies. At least I know where my place is now because it's the first page of technologies. Oh, well, one more tea needed, I think. I feel like I've lost my way a little bit. I've got loads and loads of things that I've been working on that I wanted to do tutorials, and I've moved on to the next and moved on to the next. I didn't write them down, and I feel like I've kind of, whoa, lost my way a little bit as well. In terms of everything, you know, of the yarn and of my kind of ideas that I had. Even that mile a minute has just taken a back seat, and I really wanted to get that done. So I'm going to have to get to grips with it all, and it will be easier when Gary goes back to work. We had this discussion yesterday about it, and he said, well, you have 7 days a week to do it. I was kind of like, no, I don't actually, because with the way his shifts work, out of a fortnight, he's off for 7 days because he does 10-hour shifts. So, you know, that means out of 2 weeks, I get a week. It's not a solid week either because, you know, he's at work for 2 days and off for 3. Then he's at work for 3 days and off for 2. And it goes like that quite often. So I said to him, I don't. And then when you are off, he often says things like, you're not going to make videos all day, are you? And I was like, of course not. But, you know, and there's always delays, and there's always other, that's just Gary, you know. There's always other things that impact upon it. And also, I said to him, I don't get a full day either. You know, not really, because I have to stop at some point, start doing dinner when he's working, because I don't want him to do it. But yeah, you know, it is kind of a bit of a, I don't know, what can I call it? It's kind of a schedule that I find quite grueling, because in the short bit of time I do have, I have to try and get it all done. That's kind of that's my time management, I guess. But you know, I do find that at the moment I do seem to be feel like I'm wading through treacle, you know, rather than just walking on air. I suppose that's a metaphor, isn't it? I suppose. Is it? Probably not. I don't know. It's probably another name for that. Whatever. Anyway, lovely and sunny today. Beautiful out there. It's Saturday and it's bank holiday weekend. This is the herald of the final party time for the holiday camps and the clubs around. So this is where the school holiday ends and the kids go back to school as of kind of in dribs and drabs. Not every school goes back at the same time. So, but this is the last hurrah, if you like, for the summer. They're not closed, they're still open. So people who haven't got kids or have retired can still be here. So it's not quiet, but the masses have gone because the kids will have gone. So this weekend is going to be heaving because they're all here. And that means I go nowhere, you know, it's just not worth it. The roads are a mess. I mean, they were bad enough yesterday. We had so many traffic jams yesterday. Like I said, that one that went to, we had one getting out of here for a start. One thing getting onto the motorway in the first place. And then that one was the last one for me. It was like, absolutely not. I'm going to go home and forget this. I'll do it another day. So, yeah. But that will mean all of the local shops will be rammed. With them getting their bits and bobs for their last weekend. It's not the end, obviously. They come down every weekend until it's New Year's Day, and then that's it. They're drained down, all the systems, and that closes for a couple of months. Now, when I was a kid, we had a holiday home here, which is how we moved here in the first place, and all of these campsites were 8 months. That's it. And at the end, they kind of ended at the end of summer, roughly, and then you didn't come back again until Easter, more or less. Call me old-fashioned, but I wish it was that way now. It is so much nicer for us residents. And all of these campsites, they push for 12-month occupancy, and we're all kind of, please don't grant it, for crying out loud. It's bad enough. Now they're 10 months. In some places, they're 11 and a half. Not here, but in places like Romney. And, you know, that's just too much. It's too much of them. They're hordes coming down. I know, I sound like a real islander, don't I? It's worse in Cornwall, you know. They have a name for us, people that go there for breaks and holidays. We're called emmets. Emmets. I don't know where that comes from, but they are. The locals call them emmets. You know, they hate when emmets are there, and we're the same. My dad used to hate it when holidaymakers come down, and I said, Dad, you were one of them not a little while ago, you know. Just because we live here now, we didn't used to. And he went, yes, but I didn't leave my brains at home when I came on holiday. So that was my dad, you know. Always real true Victor Meldrew. Just going to pause it a sec while I got my tea. I won't be. You know, I said I lost my way. Well, I have a bit, but I also brought this in from the yarn van. Gary turned the electric off just now, which is another reason I'm a little bit late with this. He is fixing our water heater. And he attempted it the other day by changing the thermostat. Well, that didn't work. So now he's doing the whole element. So he turned off the electric, which is why I couldn't do it earlier. So I went down the yarn van and chose some yarn. Now, this is cotton. And I didn't remember buying this. I guess I got it in one of my hobby craft outings because it is the Women's Institute, and it's a not only a cotton but an Aran, which you know, when I said I'd got the Stylecraft Savannah, you don't often find Aran. Well, it didn't occur to me that actually this is Aran, and I wanted a plain colour to go with that. So, well, hey, that I brought down, but I got this one, and this is Poundland. They are like kind of identical colours, but this is DK. And the reason I did it is because I had this little bee in my bonnet about something I wanted to make. But I really should not even attempt to tackle that until I've done some of the other things that should be doing. With Gary having a good old crash around. Let's hope that's not a bad crash and it was a good one. He's a very noisy person, actually, I have to say. You know, when Gary washes up or anything, he clashes them down. And I always say to him, Gary, don't slam them like that. I wonder if we've got any left. We haven't got many, I'll tell you. And what we have got is often chipped. And I wonder why that is. The way he clashes stuff together. I think it's because he can't really hear the noise it makes as much as I do. That's the only thing I can put it down to. As the electric is back on, I'm putting my fan on. So I'm really kind of itching to use these little babies. I got these yesterday with £4. Absolutely love them. And the thing is, when I looked at them, I thought that just reminds me, I have run out of my homemade stitch markers that I put in orders for my shop, hobbyrocks.co.uk. And I can't believe I actually got through all of them. And I think it's because I don't always, sometimes I put more than one in. It depends on what that person has got and how much kind of how generous I'm feeling on a day. But that's not all I put in. Usually I put in hooks and yarn and all sorts of stuff. But these ones, these are kind of colourful versions of the ones that I made. And obviously gold where mine are silver. But yeah, I had all of those. And I've got all the stuff. I've got the tin somewhere. I think it must be in the living room on the side. Ready for me. I keep thinking if I put it in pride of place, then I'm going to see it and I'm going to remember to make them. So I need to sit down and make lots and lots of stitch markers. Hold on a sec. Sorry about that, I had to sneeze. So, I don't want to blast you away. So yeah, so I kind of need to do that. It's one of my lists. And I've got my little to-do list pad here. So after I've finished, while I'm waiting for this to upload, I'm going to do a little to-do list. But the trouble is when I do a to-do list, I often forget what it is I've got to put in the to-do list. Doesn't really work always. I did start using this, look, and I was very good at marking off with highlighter. I've got some pastel highlighters, things I've actually done and the things I still need to do. So I think I need to give them a check over and make sure, and then add a new list. Anyway, I know it's not the most enthralling of videos that I've done lately, and I do apologise for that, but I'm a little bit out of sorts after everything, and but I'm getting back in. That's the main thing. So possibly won't be doing a vlog every day, but I'll do them as and when I can, obviously. But I've got a lot of things that really need catching up on, like tutorials and makes and stuff like that. And I want to do some live streaming over on Rocksteady as well as over on here. I did start doing them quite often, and I've slackened off. I'm such a slacker. Reminds me of Back to the Future. He's such a slacker. That's me. Anyway, I'm going to get off and go slack some more, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.